If you enjoy your hair and your eyeballs, you do not want to watch this video. And it has everything to do with the hypocrite behind that tattoo.
Did you take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution when you served?
I absolutely did.
Yeah, and you're not doing that right now.
Okay, that's your
Did
opinion.
you take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution when you
that is your opinion.
became a cop?
That is your opinion.
Then you're not doing it right now.
That's your opinion.
Please tell me in the comment section what can be more painfully ironic than a man with the supposed symbol of American freedoms tattooed to his arm as he demonstrates the most extreme disdain for that freedom and the people he's supposed to be protecting and serving. Even if you're the most ardent, diehard law enforcement supporter, can we all at least agree that this cop is lying as he responds to this question?
You took an oath to be a police officer, didn't you?
I don't recall.
Some of you may already be aware of this. Many of you, I'm sure, aren't. I'm sure most Americans don't even know about this guy right here. This is Sergeant Joffrion from the Waveland, Mississippi Police Department, and he harassed and threatened a fellow American named Jeff Gray with Honor Your Oath Civil Rights Investigations. You may know him as the guy who holds the sign, "God bless the homeless vets." For a refresher, we're going to take a look at the interaction, and then we're going to take a quick look at a couple of excerpts. This isn't the whole thing, but I want you to see the whole thing of his deposition. Check this out.
How you doing, man? You got some ID on you?
Good morning, gentlemen. God bless our homeless veterans.
Yep, I'm a vet too, man.
All right, cool.
Air Force.
All right.
You got your ID on you?
What for?
Vagrancy.
Vagrancy.
Yes, sir. So, do you have your ID on you?
Am I required to give you ID?
Yes, you are.
What would happen if I don't give it to you?
You're going to jail. Period.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Sir, I'm standing on a public sidewalk engaged in constitutionally protected
Correct.
activity.
Correct. But I'm letting you know you're going to go to jail, no questions asked.
So he acknowledges that Jeff is engaged in a constitutionally protected activity, but he's going to take him to jail anyway.
Even if I'm standing on a public
Yes,
sidewalk?
yes. How many times do I got to explain it to you?
So if I don't give you ID, I'm
Yes,
going to
you're
jail.
going to jail for failure to identify.
Can I just leave?
If you wish to do so, but I need to identify you.
I don't wish to do so. I'd like to stay here. And express my...
You're not going to stay here, period. I'm going to let you know.
Do I have to leave?
Yes,
Why?
because I'm instructing you. I'm giving you a lawful order to leave.
And if I don't leave,
You're going to jail
I'll go to jail.
for
And
failure.
you're Officer Sergeant Joffrion?
Sergeant Joffrion, Officer Anderson.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
You got your ID with you?
So if I don't leave, I'll go to jail.
Yep. Give me your ID first.
And if I don't give you ID, I'll go to jail.
Yes.
Even though I've explained to you that I'm engaged in constitutionally protected
I don't
activity.
care if you explain it to me or not.
Safeguarded by the First Amendment. It's
Okay.
freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of assembly on a traditional public forum, the steps of City Hall.
Correct.
I'm
Yeah.
not begging for
You got
money.
your ID?
I'm not begging for money.
Okay. You got your ID.
Do I need to show you my ID?
You need to show me your ID. Yes, sir.
Or what?
You're going to jail.
What
Doesn't
is,
matter if you commit a crime or not. You have to identify in reference to a complaint because you're violating.
you need to have reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime is afoot. You
Yeah, I
didn't.
do have reasonable suspicion. I just instructed you. So,
Vagrancy?
yeah.
What ordinance is that?
City ordinance. Go
Even
to jail.
though I've explained to you that I'm
You
engaged
don't
in
need to-
constitutionally
you
protected.
don't need to explain anything to me because I literally don't care.
By the way, Joffrion in the deposition we're about to watch, or the excerpts that we're about to watch, doesn't know the definition of vagrancy and admits to Jeff's lawyer that he knows that the vagrancy laws were repealed 5 years before this interaction with Jeff. And yet he still wanted to charge him with vagrancy anyway.
This isn't some free will state, man. This is how it is in the state of Mississippi.
So you don't have freedom in the state of Mississippi?
If you don't like it, you can go back to Florida. Period.
I love it when they say the quiet part out loud. By the way, all cops feel like this. It's just that a few of them are dumb enough to actually say it.
Did you take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution when you served?
I absolutely did.
Yeah, and you're not doing that right now.
Okay, that's your
Did you
opinion.
take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution when
that
you
is your opinion.
became a cop?
That is your opinion.
Then you're not doing it right now.
That's your opinion.
Central 1114.
Go ahead.
10-4, that 27's going to come back to a Marcus Jeffrey, valid, negative 29, negative 4s.
Negative 29. Remember that. That's going to come up in the deposition too. Negative 29 is something that Mr. Joffrion, Sergeant Joffrion, doesn't know the meaning of.
Go on. All right, Mr. Jeffrey, you're free to go.
Pretty good. Can I stay?
No, you cannot stay. You got to go.
So if I don't go, I'll go to jail.
Correct. Give you a lawful order and not come back.
Have you?
Now, before we get into this deposition, you should know that according to public information, there is currently a protective order to have Jeff Gray's video removed, the video of this deposition right here. And why would any defense attorney want a video like this right here removed? Well, you're going to find out real quick. Check this out. He doesn't know anything about anything, and he doesn't care.
Have you reviewed the body cam footage during your interaction with Mr. Gray?
Yes.
When was the last time that you reviewed that?
Yesterday.
What's your understanding of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution?
I don't recall. I'm not an expert.
Do you know what the First Amendment protects at all?
I don't recall.
Do you know what the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution
I don't recall.
protects? Do you know what the Mississippi Constitution provides regarding the right of the people to peaceably assemble and petition the government?
I don't recall.
Do you know what the Constitution of the state of Mississippi provides regarding freedom of speech and the freedom of press?
I don't recall.
Do you know what the Mississippi Constitution provides with regard to deprivation of life, liberty, or property without due process of law?
I'm not a lawyer.
I understand that you're a law enforcement officer, not a lawyer. My question was very simple. Do you know?
I don't recall.
Mr. Gray asked you in this video if you had undertaken an oath to uphold and protect the Constitution of the United States of America, and you responded yes. Do you remember that?
Correct.
And did you also take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the state of Mississippi?
I don't recall.
You would agree that your oath.
Let me reach out for a second to all the cops out there. Do you believe your fellow officer? Do you really believe it when he answers, I don't recall, to the question of, did you take an oath of office when you became a police officer? Do you cops out there, do all you remember that day you put your hand on a Bible or whatever the ritual was, swearing to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic? Of course you do. And if you said you didn't or that you don't recall, you know for a fact you would be lying, and you know that he is lying.
You would agree that your oath required you to uphold the Constitution, whatever it may require.
Which oath?
Your oath of office. You took an oath to be a police officer, didn't you?
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Mr. Gray that you had taken an oath?
I don't recall what a video states.
Did you take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution when you served?
I absolutely did.
Yeah, and you're not doing that right now.
Okay, that's your
Did you-
opinion.
He can recall the oath he took to get into the military, but he can't remember or he can't recall the oath he took when he became a law enforcement officer.
Take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution when
that
you
is your opinion.
became a cop?
That is your opinion.
Then you're not doing it right now.
That's your opinion.
What are the Waveland Police Department policies on interaction with the public when they are engaged in expressive conduct?
You have to get with them as far as that.
You're a supervisor at the Waveland Police Department, and you don't know the policies on interactions with the public engaged in expressive conduct.
It's not something I study over.
He's a supervisor and he doesn't know that. He supervises other people under him. No stream can rise above its source. So in the Waveland Police Department, if he's the source, then everybody downstream is as corrupt and ignorant and disingenuous as Mr. Jaffrion.
I can't recall.
Who would know the policies of the city of Waveland or the Waveland Police Department regarding two persons engaged in expressive conduct?
I don't know.
Have you taken, since you completed the Law Enforcement Academy, any continuing education courses?
Yes.
Do you have a list of those?
No.
What do you recall?
SWAT school.
He remembers SWAT school, but he doesn't remember any of the tenets of the First Amendment or the Fourth Amendment. How does that make you feel, people of Waveland? And let me just say, this guy right here represents what law enforcement is. He just doesn't have a good game face. He has absolutely, you couldn't even pay this guy to express more disdain or be covered with more contempt than Sergeant Jaffrion. And by now, all Americans should expect this kind of dishonesty, this many lies during a deposition. Remember this guy right here, Marcus Devaney? He was constantly lying on his reports, and then when he was deposed, he couldn't stop lying during the deposition. Remember this one where this cop couldn't stop lying about how far Chili DeCastro was back from his traffic stop? This cop couldn't stop lying on the stand. This Oceanside police officer couldn't stop lying. And Officer Garcia got absolutely obliterated during his deposition. And everybody remembers former Jackson County Deputy Zachary Wester, who was planting drugs on all these people, and he couldn't stop lying while he was on the stand. And then there was Lieutenant Officer Milazzo, and the list goes on and on. The point is, fire is hot, water is wet, and cops lie, and nobody does it worse than this guy, and with greater disdain. Watch this guy's face. Look at this guy. Oh, I don't really care about the Constitution or the people I'm supposed to be protecting and serving. I don't give a damn.
Anything else?
Can't recall.
Tell me what the elements of vagrancy are.
I can't think of off the top of my head right now.
Tell me what you recall
I'm going to charge you with vagrancy, but I don't know what the hell it is.
are the elements of the crime of vagrancy.
I can't recall. I don't know the laws by heart. I just know what certain crimes are. I'm not a lawyer.
So what is the crime of vagrancy?
I can't say it verbatim. Give you
I'm not asking verbatim. I'm asking you to tell me, you said you just know what the laws are. What is the crime of vagrancy?
Can't answer that right now on top of my head.
Well, you accused Mr. Gray of vagrancy the moment you stepped out of your cruiser. What were you accusing him of doing?
Harassing customers.
So is vagrancy harassing?
I didn't mention that to him.
I didn't ask that. Is vagrancy harassing? Is that what you think the crime of vagrancy is? So what is the crime of vagrancy?
Can't think of it off the top of my head right now.
You don't know what the crime of vagrancy is, do you?
If I had that statute in front of me, I could then tell you.
Are you aware that the statute had been repealed 5 years before you accused Mr. Gray of vagrancy?
Correct. He admits it. He's going to charge Mr. Gray with vagrancy, but he knows that the law citing vagrancy was repealed 5 years before he met Mr. Gray.
All right, so how did he commit the crime of vagrancy? How could he possibly have committed a crime that had been repealed 5 years ago that you can't even define?
I didn't arrest him or identify him off of vagrancy.
Do we need to watch the video?
He threatened him with vagrancy, though.
If you want to watch it, you can. I'm not.
He asked why he had to leave, and you said, because I'm instructing you. I'm giving you a lawful order to leave. You remember saying that?
Yes.
All right. What was your authority for a, quote, lawful order that he must leave the public sidewalk on the public city hall?
Sure.
Then you told him that if he didn't leave, he was going to jail again. Do you remember saying that?
I don't recall.
And in your report, you said Sergeant Joffrion advised if he did not leave, he was going to jail for disorderly conduct. What is the crime of disorderly conduct?
I don't have the law book in front of me.
Who was he disturbing?
That's why I was investigating.
What conduct was he committing that was disorderly?
That's why I was investigating.
The dispatcher just said something. Negative 29. Did you catch what she said?
Not really.
Let's try to play it back.
10-4, that 27's going to come back to a Marcus Jeffrey, valid, negative 29, negative 4.
Negative 29. You know what that means? No wants, no warrants. He knows that. He has the capacity to tell the truth, but he has no desire to tell the truth. That tells you everything you need to know about this guy's character. And everybody, he represents the face of law enforcement. Some keep a better face. They're more believable. They look more trustworthy, but you can't trust any of them.
What did she say? Negative 29? What does that mean?
You would add that. You would dispatch.
What does negative 4 mean?
You have to get with dispatch.
Got to get with dispatch. I have no idea. I use these codes every single day. All these 10 codes, these law enforcement 10 codes, I use them every single day in my profession, but you'll have to get with dispatch. I got no idea.
You don't know what it means.
Not at the top of my head, no.
So your testimony today under oath is that when she said, comes back to Marcus Jeffrey, valid, negative 29, negative 4, you did not know what she meant.
I knew what it meant then.
But you don't know what it means today.
No.
Are you still a sergeant with the Waveland Police Department?
Correct.
Everybody in the entire world with 2 brain cells to rub together. No, just 1 brain cell alone in the corner playing solitaire would know this guy is obviously lying.
And so if I called you over the radio or dispatch called you over the radio and said, valid, negative 29, negative 4, you would not know what that means today.
Probably so. Not right now, though.
Why do you not know right now?
Tired.
What is the department's
He said tired.
policy on activating the body cams?
I can't recall off the top of my head.
So you don't know when you're supposed to activate them,
I can't recall off the top of my head.
and you're a supervisor at the Waveland Police Department.
Absolutely.
You've been
Absolutely. I can recall that. I am definitely a supervisor.
continuously employed by Waveland Police Department since May 30th, 2023.
Absolutely.
This guy doesn't appear to know enough to operate a hot dog stand.
And you don't know the policy on body cams.
Not off the top of my head.
How can you perform your job as a sergeant and supervisor at Waveland Police Department if you don't know the policy?
I don't know. You tell me.
This incident with Mr. Gray blew up pretty fast.
Absolutely.
One of the news articles about this said that the police department was conducting an internal investigation. Were you part of that internal investigation?
I have no idea. I don't watch news.
That's not what I asked Mr. Sergeant Joffrey. Were you part of an internal investigation?
As far as I know, no.
Did anyone from the police department or the city come and interview you about what had happened?
No.
Did you?
If that is true, then this isn't a Sergeant Joffrion problem. This is a systemic problem that goes all the way up to the police chief or the sheriff and the mayor and everybody in that city who allows this guy to have a uniform, a badge, and a gun and to be a protector and servant of the people in Waveland, Mississippi. They are the problem. This is a systemic problem. This is just the face of the systemic problem. It goes way deeper than the Joffrions of this world.
Receive any sort of count?
This isn't just a, how does a Sergeant Joffrion view and treat a Jeff Gray? This is how every single police department and every single police department employee and sheriff's office employee, every single deputy views and treats Americans. And this isn't even the tip of the iceberg.
Counseling or discipline as a result of this event with Mr. Gray?
Why would I? No.
Why would I receive a bit of discipline for violating the constitutionally protected rights of an American citizen that hundreds of thousands, millions of men fought, bled, and died for? This is the face that displays and demonstrates the attitude of the entire American law enforcement community against the rest of us. If you want to see the entire video, and I suggest you look at the entire video and share it, I will leave the link to Jeff Gray's channel, Honor Your Oath, Civil Rights Investigations. If you go visit him, let him know Here's the Deal sent you. Remember, they have issued a protective order to have that video taken down. Check it out before they do. I'll see you in the next video.